and welcome to the joy of painting with JuBugRoss. We're living in a really scary time, and I see a lot of people doing their part online, posting workout classes, posting all these ideas of things you can do at home, watching movies, reading books, and I just wanted to remind everyone that art is something you can do at home. I find that it's such a good stress reliever and it lowers my anxiety, and I love using my hands and just making something. So this is going to be really abstract, really simple, using 5 colors and white. And all you really need is one brush. I will wipe my brush off in between different colors. I will link some places where you can get supplies really cheap. For example, this palette that I'm using is a piece of a shelf that I tried to assemble from Amazon. And I looked at the shelf at the end and it was wobbly, and I realized I forgot to put a piece in. So this is a wonderful palette. I'm having a quarantini, which is 1 cup of water and 1 emergency packet in raspberry, strawberry to garnish. The purpose of paint and sip is as a social gathering with friends, having a glass of wine, unwinding, whatever that is for you. If that's a glass of juice, I understand. I'm a big soda person, trying to be healthy with my quarantini. The first step to a nice painting is a nice organized palette. So you'll see here, I didn't do that, which is fine. There's no rules. I'm also using, as a paint thinner, I'm using walnut oil because it's better for you. It's not as toxic to breathe in as other paint thinners. I'm going to start with my blue. This is not an ordinary blue. I would like to just give a little background, a little profile on this blue. I'm not going to humiliate myself by trying to pronounce it. Blue light. I believe that's French. Nope, Dutch. This is a beautiful and versatile blue. It's almost like a cerulean, and it's lighter than regular blue. If you have any other blue, Prussian blue, royal blue, any of that, just use your blue and mix a little bit of white. Here I'm using some titanium white. I'm going to use the blue as a starting point. So really just put the brush to the canvas and just let it go. Let the brush lightly dance across the canvas. See where it goes. See where your energy is taking you. What kind of marks are you making? Are you very shy? Are you light with your brush? Are you overthinking it? Don't do that. Letting the brush do the work. Be honest, are you impressed? You don't have to be a Picasso to be a Picasso. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, sometimes I just blow myself away. Take a sip if you got paint on your hand. Vitamin C. Considering this is my first episode, I did forget also in the supplies list you should be having a rag or a paper towel because paint goes everywhere. And I also forgot to say welcome to my channel, which I say to myself every morning in the mirror when I do my makeup or brush my teeth. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. The next thing I'm going to add is one of my favorite oil paint colors, which is called Permanent Rose. And it is permanent in here. That's gorgeous. Can you see? Gosh, it's not a live audience, so I won't get any feedback. Is this Permanent Rose? You know, I actually added the wrong color in the words of Bob Ross. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. You can see the difference between these two colors. This is more of a magenta. This is the Permanent Rose that I was talking about earlier. So when you add white to that, look at that nice fuchsia that I made. Absolutely gorgeous. Color brings so much joy, I would say, wouldn't you? Before we begin to blend the fuchsia with the blue, we're just laying in the color. Let's add in some white. And how's it going over there? Color can be such a source of joy, and I think that it can be very therapeutic to mix paint together on the canvas. Let's move on. So, let's do this like Dora the Explorer. Would you like us to continue blend in the warmer color with the orange and yellow, or should we blend the pink into the blue? You got it. What I like to do on my palette, I like to mimic what we're going to do on the canvas. So I'm going to add some Permanent Rose, wow, to the blue, the light. And I'm just going to add that together so that we have sort of a middle ground between the blue and the Permanent Rose, which is a really beautiful periwinkle. I'm going to add that in my transition. And by using very broad strokes, you're able to create a sense of these colors being blurred together, which I love. I think is so beautiful. And it makes the painting more about the colors and less about what it physically represents. Wow, look at the way that blends. That's just gorgeous. You want to think of the colors as dancing with one another, especially I find that with the relationship between light and dark. And that's the same thing we're doing with these colors, which is why I love oil paint so much, because it's really able to be blended and worked with. I'm really loving tie-dye coming back in. It reminds me of when I was at camp, you know, silly camp games. I remember so vividly. This is like 12, 13, during the formative years of a person's life. Everyone going around the circle and you say who their doppelganger is. I remember specifically because the person next to me got Anne Hathaway. And I'm thinking to myself, which actress do my friends think I embody most? And when it came to my turn, silence among the group. One girl said, I got it. And I'm like, Candace Sweatable, is it? And she said, the Grinch. I said, what? Yeah, you look a lot like the Grinch. You know, who stole Christmas? I don't see it. But you see, as we're blending, the purple is coming into the pink area, taking over that pink, which, as I said, is very important to me. Let's bring some more permanent rose up in this picture. Taking those abstract shapes that we made earlier with the blue and just outlining them. Quarantini time. Now we are ready to introduce some of the warmer colors. So where we have a break here, we have pink and a space and blue. What do you think? What two colors could we put in there as a gradient between pink and blue? You're right, green and yellow. We're going to blend the green slightly into the blue, blend the yellow into the pink, which will create a really beautiful orange color. Gosh, this is so exciting. What I want to do now, just want to reinforce the blue here. Look at that nice gradient. The push and pull. Do you see it? Again, my throat made a noise. I wasn't made for television. Whoa, gotta cut me off. Am I the only person who feels like they get a little buzz off of the trace amounts of alcohol in a kombucha bottle? Never mind. The green that I have on this palette is a yellow green. Let's spread that out so we can see. And it's quite light, I must say. It's very Shrek looking. If you have a plankton green or a forest green, you can just lighten that with adding yellow. This already has a lot of yellow in it, so what we're going to do is mix it with the blue. Basically what we're doing on the palette and what we're doing blending on the canvas is just creating transitions between these colors. What's halfway between this light blue and this light green? I'm just going to take a white and I'm going to lighten it. We're going to take this color, and anywhere you see pure blue, which were the first marks that we had on the canvas, you're just going to mix that in and do the same thing you did. Now, right here, there's not a lot of blue, and there's a lot of purple. I don't want the green to necessarily connect directly with the purple, or else we're getting a real Barney vibe. So what I'm going to do is leave the space and then add blue after. And just down here, same type of thing. Wow, look at that. Going back in with the blue. And I'm gonna just bridge this gap here. Where was it? Up here where I wanted more of a pure blue. It's quiz time. What is the name of the pink that I said is just so beautiful? Not temporary but, not dandelion but, you got it, permanent rose. God, you guys learn so fast. A lot of the time you don't need to reload your brush. You can just spread paint around the canvas, especially with oil paint. You have a lot to work with. There's something about this green that is just a little bit off-putting to me, and I think that energy is everything, and if I feel this way, my thoughts are valid and my feelings are valid, and I would just really like to add some yellow. An update on the palette. We're sort of going in a circular motion to create a gradient rainbow. The last two colors that we have to connect are the pink and the yellow, and with that we'll use our cadmium orange, which is a nice bright orange, and it's a happy orange. It's not so much a pumpkin, but more the first leaf that falls in autumn. Oh wow, that's really something. And now that's turning that yellow into a green because there's so much green, so we want to go back to the palette and refresh the pink. And see, as the yellow touches the pink, it really becomes a beautiful vibrant orange, so you don't even really need a straight add of the tube orange. Just add in this yellow anywhere we see it. And these highlights. Add it to down here. The painting doesn't have to be oriented any which way. That's the beauty of a nice abstract colored piece, color field piece. See, the yellow here is more of a green yellow. It's more of the packaging of a sour Skittles candy. All we need to do is add a little bit more white, and we're going to add white to our orange as well. So we want that pure yellow. And when do we want it? Right now. A nice orange. And let's just connect these shapes, swing that orange. See how that blends so beautifully with the permanent rose. bring that down into this color here. And just lightly back and forth, windshield wiper motions, and everything becomes one, because we are one. And since this is the last color we'll really be adding, you can use it to bridge the gaps between other colors, further illustrating how color brings us together. I really am loving the relationship between the pink and the orange, and that sort of cadmium warm red that you're getting. You can push a lot of the paint around before you add new paint. Let's just turn this upside down. Wow, that changes everything. I see a lot of different things. I see an M, I see an explosion, I see a firework. What do you see? Now I'm going to go back in with the colors that I like most and that I miss most. I really love that pure blue and the relationship it has with the pink. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of that in here. This orange reminds me of an orange soda on a warm day. Fantastic. Get it? Oh, look at that. Amazing. What will I make sure to do when I'm finished? You're right. Wash your hands. Ta-da! You made a beautiful, abstract, lava lamp, Lisa Frank looking colored painting. And even if your painting looks terrible and you feel terrible about how bad it looks, if you sat down for 5 to 10 minutes and you smiled and you were distracted by the beauty of color, then I'm happy. And I hope you are too. I hope everyone stays safe, stay inside. This is all temporary. We're gonna get through it together. And please leave me suggestions for Paint and Sip episode 2. I was thinking maybe a flower, a butterfly, a rainbow, something that we could do for all levels of painters, people who haven't painted before or are maybe wanting to try it out. And I'll leave suggestions for where you can get really cheap supplies, and you can always paint on a piece of paper, you can paint in a sketchbook, and let me know how you guys liked it, and if you did it, please share and tag me. I'd love to see your creative genius. I've made a remix to the song Panini, and it goes a little something like this. Quarantini. Don't go outside and be a meanie. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.